Well,
Right, first things first. You talked about the motivation. You said I need motivation to not be fat and lazy. Motivation isn't real. So you're talking about a fallacy. Motivation isn't a real thing. People who train every day don't want to train every day. They are not motivated to train every day. They are something else. Motivation is the wrong word. They are not motivated. They are disciplined.
Andrew, are there ever days where you don't feel like working out or you don't feel like doing work?
Every fucking day, I don't feel like doing things that I still do. It's called discipline. It's called being a man. It's not about feeling like doing it. If you only do things you feel like doing, you know what you end up doing?
What?
You end up sitting around with a belly drinking soya fucking latte bullshit. That's what you end up doing if you only do what you feel like doing. You have to wake up and say, I don't feel like training, but I must train. I will only drink water.
Okay.
You need to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like fucking doing.
Okay.
That's the difference between a man and a fucking child. You do not become a man doing what you feel like doing. You become a man doing what you're supposed to fucking do. The men on the Titanic didn't feel like dying that day. It's your duty.
Okay.
It is your duty to not be a fat piece of shit.
Okay.
But you fucking it up because of a lack of motivation.
Nah, we can proceed. What advice do you have for people that deal with anxiety and they deal with like depression and they doubt themselves?
If you're going to doubt yourself, I mean, I understand why a lot of people doubt themselves. A lot of people doubt themselves because they're incompetent. You'd have to be a megalomaniac to not doubt yourself if you're an incompetent individual, right? If you're an idiot or you're crap or you're shit at things, of course you're going to doubt yourself because you should, because you fail all the time. The only way you're going to start to not doubt yourself is if you show some competence, if you grow into a competent individual and perpetually succeed, as I do. I don't doubt myself because I never fail. So why would I doubt myself when I've never failed? Whereas if all I did was fail all of the time, of course I'm going to doubt myself. So your mentality is heavily linked to your reality. And the fact that most people have such weak mindsets comes from the fact that they have a weak life, a weak body, a weak social circle, a weak network, a weak bank account, a weak relationship, and then their mind is weak. Well, of course. Whereas if you had a group of soldiers around you, men who were dedicated, who would ride or die with you, if you were strong, if your woman would never leave you no matter what because she idolizes you, then your mentality would be strong. Your mind would be strong by extension. So if someone comes to me and goes, I doubt myself, I usually look at them and go, yeah, I understand why. You're a little fat piece of shit and you're stupid. Of course you do. If I was you, I'd doubt myself too.
What do you think? What is your beliefs on like all that stuff without getting too deep in?
I believe in God. Do you believe in God?
I do.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really specific on what God people worship. Doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever to me.
Yeah.
I just think it's important that you take some time out of your life and dedicate it to the higher power. So
I love that. That's a good answer.
I respect that. Like when I'm in Dubai, I'll go to the mosque. When I'm here in Romania, I'll go to the church. So
you're respectful of people about people's religions.
Okay, it's all good.
Sorry, what'd you say?
As long as you're worshiping God, then it's all good.
I like that.
Yeah, because there's genuine evil in the world.
Yeah.
And however you combat that evil, whichever name you call your God, isn't important to me. What's important to me is that you combat the evil. There are evil forces at work.
Right. Demons, right?
And anyone who pretends there isn't hasn't seen true evil. I've seen evil. And when you see true evil, then you understand that no matter what name people call the entity that they're worshiping, which can combat said evil,
right?
Good. It doesn't matter. I don't care what God you're worshiping as long as you're worshiping something, because there is evil in the world. And there's evil people. I've met genuinely evil people. Like there's people out there who will murder you and your family and your children and your dog and men, women, children. There's people out there who are genuinely evil.
Wow.
I've been unfortunate enough to run in with a few of them. I know how the world works. There's people out there who function on a complete different wavelength. And this is the work of the devil.
Wow.
I mean, I've always been rich, but I'm not just rich because of money. You have to understand, I'm rich because of a bunch of things that money cannot buy. Like, I know there's people with lots of money, but they don't have the network I have. They don't have the brotherhood I have. Just sitting with my boys, knowing that if the bullets start flying, me and my 10 friends, we all die or no one dies. Having that brotherhood, having women who would literally, you could go to jail for 10 years and they would wait for you. They exist for you and only you, completely and utterly. You are their entire universe. Like having physicality, walking through the world bigger and stronger than everyone else, having all those professional fights, and all the bad things, having the trauma, all the pain, all the bullshit I've been through. You ain't a good man if you haven't had trauma. A man without trauma is a weakling.
Andrew,
So that's what I love to hear, because as a man, you need things that almost kill you and don't kill you. So I'm rich not because of money. I'm rich because I've been through a whole bunch of shit. Like I've had a very, very unique life, very, very eclectic life. I was born with the best possible start a man can have, which is good parents and no money. I've made all of my money completely myself the hard way. None of this fucking internet, Twitch, easy shit. I've done it hard. But the point is that once you get money, that's fine. But then I believe money is an amplifier. I don't believe money changes. I think it amplifies. So if you're a dork and you get incredibly wealthy, you become a mega dork. Whereas if you're a G and you get incredibly wealthy, you become a mega G.
So I'll give you an example. Amplifies your status.
It doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you are. If you see a Lamborghini pull up and a little nerd gets out, you think, oh, fucking super tech nerd, probably invented Stripe or something. He's a nerd. Whereas if you see a Lambo pull up and a big fucking strong, bald, whatever crazy dude gets out, you think, okay, he's a drug dealer. He's a mafia boss. The Lambo doesn't change what you think. It amplifies who the person is. Money is an amplifier. It doesn't change. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very happy that I was poor for a long time, because I never would have been able to learn the lessons I've learned if I was rich. I would have never been able to take those risks. I would have never been able to be in those situations. I've been stabbed just like you. I'll show you my scar. So I would never have been able to been put through hell if I had money. So I'm very glad I was poor for a very long time. And the reason I'm the richest person on the planet is not because of the amount of money I have. It's because of all the shit that happened to me when I was poor. That's when I've got it all. I've got every single gift that God can give, plus all the gifts you can make yourself. And I state that without arrogance. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I am a realist. And as a realist, it would be absolutely unprofessional for me to sit here and pretend I'm not an exceptional human being, because I am. And a lot of those things I did myself, and some of them were God-given. But the ones that weren't God-given was because I put myself through hell. I put myself through hell because I decided to throw comfort away. For 10 years of my life, I was never comfortable. Wow. Never for a second. You talk about GTA, Grand Theft Auto. I know the game. I've never played any of those games, but I find it amazing that people will sit there and spend all their time upgrading that character, making as much money as they can, getting the best guns, getting strong, getting some hoes, meeting important people, getting the best car. They'll do all that in a game, but they won't do it in real life. I find that incredible. Like, my life is GTA. I don't need to play a game for GTA. If I want a gun, I'll fucking buy it. If I want a car, I'll fucking buy it. I want a bitch, I'll get her. It's me. I am GTA. I don't see completely. And me as a man, when I put myself through hell, when I have had such exacting, such stringent standards for myself, why would I then have less exacting, stringent standards on the people I meet? Damn, why would I put myself through hell to be me and then meet someone who didn't put themselves through hell and then treat them like my equal? No, fuck you. I suffered when you didn't. So you're not my equal because you decided not to suffer. You have enjoyed comfort when I haven't, and that's fine. But don't expect me to look at you as my equal, because you're not. I'll snap your fucking neck. But you have to. But there's something that's always kind of confused me. When I tell people that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, everyone agrees. They go, yeah, that's probably true. The 5 people you spend the most time with, that's what you're going to end up like. They say, yeah, that's true. And then they continue to hang around with people who they don't want to be.
Right? I was, do you know who I Show Speed is?
No.
He's this other creator that's like obviously like in my space. I was staying with him in September, and like I would literally like be on my shit like every day, like grinding, like at what I'm grinding, right? And like when he left, I had like no one around me to basically like kind of like on my like so it shows.
I get it.
Yeah.
And that's why I live in a competitive environment. I live with my brother, my cousin. I live with men. We have a big house. We could all afford fucking 10 houses each. We live together on purpose. If my brother does 500 push-ups, I ain't going to be the bitch at the house. I ain't going to not do them.
Right.
Everyone pays to join. You get kicked out anyway. You have to fight to keep your place. That's the whole.
Damn.
That's because that's how life was. If we were still in the animal kingdom, the lions that you see on TV, they weren't just born big lions. They had to fight other lions. They had to fight to get that antelope. They had to fight other animals, hyenas, jackals. They had to fight to be the boss. We're living in a comfortable world now where people think, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you know what? To some degree, it does matter. It does matter. And I'll tell you who it matters to. It matters to your soul and it matters to God. I stand in the mirror with a pure heart. I know I am the best version of me that could possibly ever exist. I know that God is proud of me. There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why, because God dislikes you because you're fucking lazy. Start to work. Start to show God the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you'll become.
Wow.
God is unhappy with these people. And inside their hearts, they're unhappy. We talk about depression, anxiety, all those things you mentioned earlier on this podcast. That comes from self-loathing. You loathe your own weakness. You loathe your own laziness. This is what all of these things are. I don't feel depression. How can I feel depression when I'm the most powerful version of me that I could ever fucking be? How can I feel depression when I could squeeze my own hand hard enough to break my own bones? How can I feel depression when I've smashed and destroyed 68 people's faces in front of me, men who thought they could test me in fair combat? How can I feel depressed? It's impossible. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. And I'll tell you it's broken. I'll tell you why. Watch your friends when they're on TikTok. How long can they even focus on a video before they have to change? Half a second, a second,
Damn.
maybe. All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore.
You're right.
You are constantly distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming.
How?
They have programmed. I'll tell you how. First thing you have to do is identify it. You have to identify what is happening to you. I use my mind to break the trap. I will sit on TikTok for a day and I'll just enjoy TikTok. And by the end of the day, I'll watch myself. How quickly I'm looking to be entertained, how little time I give a video, how fucked up I am. And then I'll blink and I'll cure my fucking brain. You must allow yourself to be manipulated and you must fix it. All of it. You just talked about not appreciating the things you have. Then blink and cure your brain. It's a conscious decision. You're letting other people control your mind.
It's all distraction.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap. If you cannot control your own mind, let me make this point because it's extremely important. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. Right. You can't control other people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with zero control, zero influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place, completely hoping on the gods to be fortunate to you because if any genuine discomfort comes your way, you're fucked. It is trained like everything else in life. It is trained. So if you find yourself not appreciating what you have until it's gone, then you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to focus or concentrate on tasks, you must blink and cure your brain. If you find yourself unable to go and dedicate yourself to something you don't want to do, you must blink and cure your brain. Because all of our minds have been under constant assault for years. It's not difficult. There's just no competition because everybody's fucking distracted. They're getting distracted by this, distracted by that, watching fucking Netflix, jerking off to Pornhub like fucking jackasses. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. But it seems that nobody fucking can. Once you have control of your mind, life is so ridiculously easy. It's so ridiculously easy. It's so easy to be in. People say to me, Tate, you're in good shape. All you do is drink vodka and travel the world. You're never even home. You never even have a gym. How do you do it? It's ridiculously easy if you control your mind. If I decide to do 1,000 push-ups, I'll do them. Maybe I have to do them one at a time. Maybe I'll get tired. Maybe I need a break. I'm going to do 1,000 because I said I'm going to do 1,000. It's not fucking hard. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Once you control your mind, it's easy, right? Getting over a breakup with that bitch. You miss that girl. You're upset. You miss her with all your heart. Da-da-da. But once you realize she's gone, if you control your mind, she's gone now. She's gone now. I'm going to miss her. That's a shame. Off to the gym. You either control your mind or you don't. At the end of World War II, when men went to Europe and saw unspeakable horrors at the end of World War II, did they all come home and need therapy or did they all come home and get back to life?
Get back to life.
Because everyone was taught to have a mind that they control because they needed it to survive. There's no one else. That's how life worked back then. Now imagine there was a war that big. Imagine the fucking therapy, the fallout, the fucking bullshit. No one would be able to fucking even just go back in. And I'm not saying they didn't see bad things. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's fucking horrible. But that's just how it works. That's life. Like, I've seen shit. Like, we've all had our trauma. You have to get through it. You either let it destroy you or let it build you.
Have you ever been in love before? I feel like
schools are designed to make you a slave. You're set up for slavery. Whole thing's a fucking scam. The education system's a scam. The judicial system's a scam. The medical system's a scam. Look at these last few years. You're living in Canada. You haven't learned that everything's a fucking scam? All of it. Oh, but don't worry. If things don't go my way, I'll get to go to court and have my say in court. Yeah, that's fair. We learned that doesn't mean a fucking thing. The law doesn't mean a thing. Your rights don't mean a thing. It's all a fucking scam. The only hope you have is to cure your brain, see the attacks which are coming from the Matrix, get a strong network of individuals such as the War Room, and then learn how to escape. Most people are so deep inside of their programming. What did Morpheus say in the Matrix? Most people are so hopelessly dependent on the system they will die and fight to defend it. Most people will sit here and pretend that the world they live in is just and fair because they are fucking slaves. Slave-minded. And to break the slave mind, to truly resist the programming, you have to understand what's happening to you. And this is only the beginning. I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. But the basic answer to everything is you must control your mind.
Wow.
I don't know. I can't imagine truly wanting to quit something and not being able to quit. I can't imagine it. Like, when I talk to people who say, I want to quit smoking, I say, when? They go, oh, well, soon. Well, that means you don't want to quit. You want to keep smoking for a while and quit later. Like, I could quit cigars today. Like, it wouldn't even plague my mind. Like, if I wanted to quit, I'd quit. I can't imagine a mind frame or a mindset where I want to do something and can't do it.
Right.
So it's almost difficult for me to answer that question, because if you have that kind of mind, if your mind is so fundamentally broken that you cannot do with your own mind what you want to do,
right?
You know, like that, then you're just fucked. Conquest, right? Conquest is all life's ever been for men. This is what men have an innate desire to conquest, to conquer. Even you care about having as many viewers as possible on your streams. You care about being as big as possible. You care about conquering. Why did the Romans wake up, melt rocks, make swords, and walk in random directions? They didn't have Google Maps. They didn't have a fucking clue where they were going. Random directions to find some other group of people and fuck them up and take their shit. Why? Conquest. This is a conquer. Why did Genghis Khan ride his ass from Mongolia all the way to fucking Vienna? It's a long way. Why? Conquer. Men are born with this innate desire to conquer. It's inside of us. They're trying to suppress it. They're trying to distract it away from you, tell you that you're wrong. You're toxically masculine. You shouldn't want to conquer. You should want to sit at home and be tolerant. No, you shouldn't. You should want to conquer shit. Doesn't matter if you do it fiscally and make as much money as possible. Doesn't matter if you do it in the gym, lifting as much weight as possible. Doesn't matter if you try and become as big as possible on the internet like you have. You need to find out a way to conquer Earth and conquer. It's the only thing that's going to make you happy as a man. Only thing that's going to make you intrinsically happy is conquest. Nothing else. If you're depressed, it's because you don't conquer shit. Conquer something. Get up and do it. It doesn't have to be a negative at all. You can do it in a very, very positive way. You can have a positive impact on the world. I like to think that my impact on the world has been positive. I've conquered the whole fucking internet, and I've done it in a positive way. I'm helping the world. Maybe my enemies, maybe the Matrix doesn't like me, but there's young men who are watching every single one of my videos whose lives are changing. So conquest can be a very positive thing. So I'm here on the internet conquering the internet because I've decided to, because that's my hobby. Because I don't do anything degenerate. I don't take drugs. I don't gamble anymore. I used to gamble a bit, bored of it. Don't gamble. Don't take drugs. I drink sometimes, but it's really not a big deal for me. I don't like to drink too much. I'm telling you. Great, but there's how many people in this stream? 188,000, 168,000, whatever. You could take 150,000 of these people and travel back in time and stand them in front of their ancestors. And their ancestors who fought fucking saber-toothed tigers or escaped the Mongol hordes or managed to dodge bombs in the Second World War. All the shit they went through just for this fucking cretin to be born. And to look at him, look at who he is, listen to his life story, listen to what he does on a day-to-day basis, and they would feel nothing but fucking shame. Your ancestors did all that shit, all that struggling to survive, hunting and gathering, fucking avoiding enemies, anything it took, dying at age 30 from a tooth infection, all the crap they went through just for you to be born so you could smoke weed and jack off. That's what your ancestors died for. That's what they worked so hard for. That's who you are. That's the end of your fucking bloodline. Do you feel no shame? It's fucking shameful. My ancestors will look at me and think everything we went through was fucking worth it. Your ancestors will look at most of these people, their ancestors look at them and feel nothing but fucking disgust. That's the beauty about being a man. If you're disgusting, you can change it. That's the beauty. There's nothing stopping you changing it.
You're right.
But you must accept. You must accept it first. Most of these people, what they do is they hang around with other disgusting people, and then they're a little group of disgusting people, and they think, well, I'm not disgusting. Everyone's disgusting, and this is normal, and it's normal to be a fucking jerk off. Not in my world, it isn't.
Damn.
There are duties that men must fulfill, whether to God or to your bloodline. But this is a genuine honesty. I'll say this now. Of those 150,000 people, I guarantee even their fucking living relatives, their living parents aren't even proud of them. Like, the fuck? Your own father's ashamed of you, and you don't even feel fucking motivated to do shit.
Chat, y'all think that's true?
It's a fucking shame. If you were to go and look your father in the eye and said, you know what? I could have been a UFC champion. I could have been a multimillionaire. I could have been a race car driver. I could have been a fucking nuclear physicist. Could have done all these things, but I was busy on Pornhub. You think he's gonna be proud of you? Fuck no. Fuck no. And there's men here who will deny it, right? There's men who will go, no, 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 no. But those are the ones who are most lost. It's the denial that's going to hold you back the most. The people who go, yes, I'm wasting my potential. Those are the ones who have potential. The ones who stand up and go, I am wasting my potential. I could be anything, and I am not that yet. They have a chance. The men who go, well, no, actually, I'm fine. They're fucked. They're inside the matrix, fully slave-minded. They're a waste of time. Damn. But if you sit there and go, you know what? Yeah, I am wasting my potential. Yes, I can be more than I am. Even if I'm already great, I can be better. As good as I am, I still push myself to the limit every single fucking day. I have every single thing a man could possibly want. I'm still pushing myself. This is your prerogative as a man. But you need to be instilled with a sense of duty to your bloodline. You must want it. You need to want it deep inside your soul. I can't die as anything less than emperor. It's my destiny.
Texting you on IG and shit, showing you like, I'm really gonna be hitting the gym, bro.
Do it. And you're going to feel so much better for doing it. Not even just physically, but mentally, knowing that you pushed yourself to do things you don't want to do. There's nothing that feels better than the feeling you have after you did something you don't want to do. As you know, when you're supposed to clean your room.
Yeah, you're right.
You eventually clean it and you're like, thank fuck I've cleaned it.
I did it. Like the homework. I went back at school. Oh, I did my homework. Oh, thank God I did it. I didn't want to do it, but thank God I did it. It's done.
Correct. That's what it feels like every single day if your life is nothing but discipline. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful existence.
That's a great feeling. That's a really, really good feeling, I bet. I need that. I need discipline. I need it.
Beautiful existence. It's a beautiful existence. After I picked up my Chiron, when I bought the Bugatti and I picked it up, the first thing I did was order another one. Like, it never ends. There's always a new mountain to climb. Always. So and even if it's just tiny little, it's professionalism. It's holding yourself to such a high standard. There's a professional way to do everything. I'll tell you a story. I lost my keys about 3 weeks ago. It was the first time I'd lost anything in 4 or 5 years. Because when I put something down, I've taught myself to put it down and repeat in my head where I put it. I put my phone on the kitchen counter. I say it in my head like 3 times as I walk off. I don't lose things. I know where everything is all the time. I'm a professional. I don't lose stuff ever. And I lost my keys. I was furious at myself. The ways I punished myself for only losing my keys took me 20 minutes to find them. Found them. I donated money to charity. I refused to go driving. I worked harder in the gym. I fasted for 24 hours. I punished myself. And my chick's like, what are you doing? So I lost keys. She goes, yeah, but it's only you losing keys. You're a fucking chick. You don't get it. I don't make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. And I made one, and I will pay a price. I will not lose my keys again. God is my witness. God above, I will not lose my fucking keys again. I will make sure I repeat in my head 25 times if necessary. Every time I put anything down out of my pockets exactly where it is, I will never lose anything ever again. I am a professional. I am exceptionally hard on myself because that's how I enjoy life. I can't imagine life any other way. I can't imagine life going through life, losing my keys, oops, crying over a bitch, oops. Oh, I don't feel like it today, oops. I can't even fathom that existence. It sounds like hell to me. I get anxiety even imagining that existence. You want to talk about anxiety? I get anxious even imagining living that way. I am a hyper professional. So can you always be more professional? Yes, I can always be more professional.